When one is a lecturer, one is an actor, one is a film director, and when one ends up as Mr. World Sri Lanka 2024, the price of fame is extremely heavy. There's a social media monster out there waiting to rip you into pieces, and that's also what happened to our guest today on Fame Game. Megha, for ever so long I called you Megha. Were you annoyed with me?
No, I think I'm used to different pronunciations of my name.
It was intentional, by the way.
I know.
Just to annoy you, to piss you off.
Yeah.
And after you came back from Vietnam, then I called you Megha. Yes, Rozanne, your first question. Far away, here's our victim.
So, everyone thinks Megha is all about looks. But there is more to Megha than that. Like he gave in his introduction, like your directorial stuff, your... Just give us a brief about Megha other than the look part of it. Looks part of it.
Well, looks part is just what you see, right? Anybody. So when it comes to how I operate, I think it's always being about trying to be as perfect as possible in what I do. So I've always in whatever arena that I compete at or try to educate myself in, or even as career-wise, or what I do as a profession, it has always been about doing my best and trying to do my best. So I leave nothing behind in myself or in my head that I regret later about. So it could be for studies, it could be for acting, could be for directing, could be for lecturing later on that I've gotten into. And the same applied for Mr. World pageant as well, locally and internationally. So I try to prep myself and I try to be as content as possible within myself. So I'm confident enough to know I'm doing things right. So that is the approach I take when it comes to working. And I think it has worked all right for me so far. But it does have its downsides because you don't get much personal time for yourself. Because when you're deviating in a lot of streams, it takes up a lot of time during the day. So it's a little hard to manage time. That gets Kumar's laughing already, I know that.
No, do you get annoyed when people only refer to you as handsome and, the outward...
Rozanne, he loves it.
But...
Rozanne, he loves
it. But when they refer to it only as handsome and not refer to the intellectual part of you or the hard-working part of you, or like you said, you do a lot of work.
I understand. I was trying to get there. It's just... I actually try not to pay a lot of attention to what other people gather me for, what they gather me for, because I know they can't comprehend what I'm doing because it's inside me that I only myself know what I'm doing. So some might, if they get to know me, like Mr. Kumar has, and you can ask about his first impression of me as well.
He was one of your you were one of his favorites from the beginning.
Not from day one, if you ask for first impression.
You told me.
Not from day one.
Yeah.
So at one of the mini pageants, I had this list of boys' names, 15 boys. Randomly, I said Megha Sooriyaarachchi. And at the end, this one comes and says, of course, very polite, but rather annoyed also, that excuse me, it's Megha and not Megha. I thought, okay, I'm always going to say Megha right throughout the pageant till he went and came back.
Yeah, and also because he was coaching us at our training sessions as well. So the first time you saw me was there, right?
Yes.
Yes. So that impression you had of me.
Ah, yes, very...
So you did it just to annoy him?
No. So then
or you didn't want him to correct you?
So I was with the girls and then I was told to take on the boys also. And that one day at the JCs, right?
Yes.
So there was this 15 boys and there was this number 4. You get these cats after a saucer of milk. They are smug, they are content, they are happy, they are very sure of themselves. I thought, oh God, this guy, who the hell does he think he is? He's just one of 15 contestants. Before I spoke to him, this was the impression I had. Of course, it changed, but this is the first impression that you gave me.
So as I said, I try not to be bothered about it because at the end of the day, it's about their opinion of me, not my opinion of myself. So either they'll understand who I am with time, because time will tell, or otherwise it's not going to affect me. From a mass point of view, it will affect how they see me. But then again, will change when they get to know what I do and how I do it. So I think I'm trying to set an example for myself rather than worrying about what the impression of others would be at a certain point, to a level, in certain regards. It could be what I know, how content I am, or is it just the looks or whatever. I think it comes and it should boil down to a certain point where it should not be about what others think, because if you're trying to compete with that, you can never get ahead of yourself. And think and look back at the macro picture and look down at the macro picture and see what you need to do, or you'll be catering to someone else's need. So I think I'm trying to stay away from that.
You spoke of perfection in what you do. Are you ever good enough for yourself, for your own self?
I think if you're someone who's trying to improve, you'll never be. And especially in the form of what I do. It could be acting, could be directing. It's in the form of art. It's an ever-evolving subject. It's something that always updates. It's something that you'll learn as a subject till the day you die. So, to the subject itself, inherently, it's something you never finish learning. So you'd never be good enough. That's how it is. That's how it should be. And you have to understand that fact as well. It's a different form of evolvement within yourself.
You speak of perfection. You're going to hate me for this. You're almost never punctual. You were late today.
Almost.
And even
No, that may be a tactic also, like coming a little bit late and then being more important.
To take that flight to Vietnam, there was panic at the airport. Family was there, Anuti was there, friends were there, and Megha's not there. And they closed the counters. He ran to the counter 2 minutes before closing time.
Okay, so 2 things about it. I'm trying to be punctual. If you know how, like now I'm a bit more punctual.
Better, yes.
Yeah, much better. It comes with the time, the time factor that I'm trying to handle as well. I'm not trying to be fashionably late. Yeah.
Too many fashionably late.
I'm not trying to be fashionably late. And also about the Vietnam thing, there was a whole other issue. Yes, I was late at the end of it. True, but the national costume and everything, it was getting together at the last minute because they had not informed us that we'll be having a whole show for it. So in the last few days only we had time to finish it off. So it's a whole hassle packing it properly with safety and all, and getting it to the airport.
That weighed you how many kilos?
On the head itself, it was around 20. On the head itself, so and it's packing, because I've seen that happen. Because when it goes through the cargo, it'll come. If it's cracked in a certain, even a little bit,
you're doomed.
Yeah. You can try to fix it, but it'll never be the same.
Right.
Especially with an assembly point like that, it have to be assembled there. So if an assembly point goes wrong, it's all wrong. So that had to be carried out and all that. So yes, at the end of it,
that flight did not know all those stories. The flight was going to go.
Yes.
So get a PA. Our common friend out there who's watching right now, she is available. You know who you are, to be your PA.
Yes, not going to come.
Pay her well,
because I won't be able to get out of this show after she sees.
Either she goes into therapy or you go into therapy.
Yeah.
So she's clueless on that piece. Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't want to know. Speaking about Mr. World, before you, we didn't have successful contestants coming into the top 10, but you made it happen. What do you think that you did that the others didn't do?
I think I've spoken about this in a common way, which will apply to all the pageants. Wherever you compete internationally, it's about understanding the DNA of the competition. It's not about you being a model, you being a representative of the country just for the fact of being one. So, if you have to understand what your weaknesses are, what your strong points are, and know what works for you as a pageant. So, when you take the big five or the A-grade pageants, male pageants in the world, Mr. World, Mr. International, Mr. Supranational, the Man of the World, all these will act differently in their own DNA. And you have to know whether you fits into that DNA, so you can harness all you have in order to get where you have to get. So, for an instance, if you divide in general, the pageants to beauty pageants and modeling pageants, one who can model might be able to compete in a beauty pageant, but then again, someone who can compete in a beauty pageant might not be able to compete in a model pageant. It's vice versa. So you have to understand where the balance is, where your balance is, and know how to pick what's right for you. Because the charisma they expect, the life skills they expect, the IQ, the qualifications, the fitness levels, and what you have to do, how long you're there for, everything depends on the DNA of the pageant. And Mr. World is one of the, I think, one of the major pageants that they put a lot in, and they try to extract every aspect of a contestant. So getting ready for it, as Mr. Kumar knows as well, it took a lot of me, even because I was never a model. I was never a ramping model. The first time, I said this before.
And you're proud of that also, that you're not a ramp model.
I mean, it's not certainly, yes, I'm proud that I got there in a
Without being a model.
Yes, and I got there to model, to become a proper ramping model. Because when I go there, there's no excuses. I have to be a proper ramping model. So I'm proud about the fact that I got there in the right time, and I executed accordingly to become a proper model in a short time frame. But the first time I ever ramped is at the local pageant, Mr. Sri Lanka, because I'm an actor.
But you were quite good.
Yeah, because I prepped myself is why.
Okay.
So that's what I said. So the prep, it's not about prepping just for the international pageant. It's about prepping for the local pageant, because you won't have much time to go for the international pageant in the context that we have right now. And it takes a lot to do the research, because the inkling of an idea that came to me to compete at all in pageantry was in 2016, when the only South Asian winner from the region is Rohit Kandewal in 2016 for Mr. World, and he's the only one to date. And then only I started researching about it a bit, and with COVID, it took a back seat again. And I think the time was meant for me in a certain way, because they usually cut off the age just 26, maximum 27. So they extended it to 35, I think. So I could compete. Otherwise, I was actually letting it go, because the only pageant for me that fit the criteria of my and the standard that I wanted to set was Mr. World.
So there's no more pageants for you again?
No, I think it was one of when I was prepping for it as well, because it was a step outside my comfort zone. Me wanting to do what I want to do to represent Sri Lanka in a very standardized and a very, very proper manner.
But don't you think now, with all this international experience and with all this fame and whatever you have achieved, that if you go to the next international pageant, that you might win it?
It's then again it boils down to the DNA as well. I think international, it could be something that has the same DNA, but I think I'm out of pageantry.
But having won Mr. World, are there any other pageants you can go to at the same level?
There could be one, but I think for me, it has always been Mr. World, the highest rank. The pageant that they had, the finale we had, I think surpassed a lot I've seen as well, even in India, because we had separate shows for like equally good separate shows for national costume and for talent, and for the finale itself, huge shows, very well planned. So they're going out of their way to make it the biggest men's pageant show in the world. And I don't think it's easier to beat that anymore, because it takes a lot of logistics, it takes a lot of investment, and I think Mr. World for me right now is at the top. And there are some A-grade other, like as I said, the big five that are in the same vicinity, but standard-wise, going forward, I think Mr. World will be a bigger thing. You have some news coming out from their end as well in the recent future about how they're going to change some things. So it's just, it's different, is what I'm saying.
You were in India at the Miss World finals, almost in the front row with your other colleagues from around the world. And Julia Morley had spoken to the Sri Lanka franchise holder Suren Edirivira. You remember her words to Suren?
Yes, I think Julia Molly, because we arrived on 29th when the finale was on 31st, so we had some time to spend there as well. I think one of the things that Mrs. Julia Molly said to Mr. Suren is that Anudi, or the local, like the Sri Lanka representative, they have seen from Sri Lanka in the recent past. And I think because I have an insight with the team as well, because I worked with them a few months ago. The stage directors, the choreographers, everybody
at the Mr. World last
Mr. World.
November.
It's the
So
same
it's the
team.
same team.
It's the
Okay.
same exact team that's working. But for Miss World, they hire some other people as well, because the number of contestants are different.
I wonder what made you say that Anudi is the best ever Sri Lanka
Yes,
contestant
that is what I
in
was
recent times.
what I was getting at, because that was Julia Molly's exact words. But even when I talked with because I got to talk with the team and the choreographers, and
So you knew them.
yes, so what they said is the same, that it's a pleasure to see that Sri Lanka is placing this way, because for them also it's about representation. In pageantry, it's not about, because it's a show at the end of the day, and it's about how you bring the energy, how you represent your country, who you are, and how you set a standard in a platform. So I think, because we compete continentally, for them, Anudi was somebody that stood right out from the start. That is what
Do
they
you
said.
think that your achievement also helped a little bit for them to recognize Sri Lanka in the Miss World pageant?
Maybe in a certain sense, but what?
Because the crew would then
Yes.
identify, oh, Sri Lanka, Megha,
Yes.
and now Anudi.
Yes, but yeah, that factor could have come in, but the work she put in was what they were highlighting.
Yeah, definitely.
The preparation she had, because I know from my personal experience itself that it's not easy to prepare at that level, because whatever the resources we have inside the country, when you go there, whatever you've done, it's going to be break even. So you have to work from there onwards. And what Anudi did, I've seen from day one. It has been a big
Monumental task.
Yes, it has been really hard on her. She has been
Yeah, you've been
yes
in
because
touch with her every day.
people started talking about her when she was competing, but they don't see the work
Behind the scenes.
7 years
Yeah.
before.
Yes, because when you it's from the day you get an idea of her.
Yeah, it's easy for
Yes.
people to criticize and say her dress was not good, or she didn't smile, or whatever. I mean, you also would have
Yeah.
got backlashes like that.
Yes, I mean
But,
it's
Becca, more than you, I think Anudi was a major victim of social media. You were a lot, all those allegations which I don't want to talk about. But those people out there who do not know.
I think with Megha it was more personal, but
It
with
was
Anudi,
personal,
it was
yeah,
like
it
a
was,
general
yeah.
thing.
You as you and she as herself, how did you all handle that? I mean, isn't it demoralizing? Don't you get upset? You could even crack.
Yeah, that's related to the first question as well. What people think of you, and when it's social media, and
So you didn't want to like say, no, this is not true. And
Oh, he went
that's,
out, so
that's the thing. If it's something like for my instance, say somebody says something personal about you, and they have a personal opinion about you, that factor does not count for me at all.
grudges, angers, hate.
Yes, because people will have vengeance. People will have bad intentions for you for what they don't understand. And if you try to correct it, that is you getting into their game. That does
Yeah.
not work in the macro picture, as I said. If somebody wants to come at you, if you know that it is wrong, you don't have to care about it, is all I say. I mean, when it comes to Anudi, was in a sense different, because people in mass don't understand the exact that goes into it.
True.
So to everything for every direction you take on stage, it could be in the prep, are done with reason. It's not that you haven't given your best, but you're always giving your best with what you have. So we adjust, we adapt, and we evolve. That's what it should be if you are to go further. It could be in pageantry or it could be in anything. So, as I said, when it comes to the fame game, as you say, it doesn't really apply the fact that if somebody's trying to make something up, if somebody's trying to accuse you of something, if someone's trying to personally come at you, I don't think you should care about it at all. I mean, at the end of the day, that
But
is,
it can be upsetting.
yeah, that's if you let it.
Oh, okay.
that's-
So let it.
So you set a wall in front of you, and it
Yes.
doesn't
That's
what you
affect
did,
you
right?
at
That's
all.
what you
Yes,
did.
I mean, if you don't do that, you won't have time to do what you need to do. And because not just me, put the personal identities aside, me, Anubhi, or anything. We as human beings are not perfect. So even if you are perfect in your own opinion, you could not be in another person's eye. Simple as that. So you can agree to disagree, as long as it does not work in the context
But you
of yes.
keep on doing good work, and
Yes.
you just move on.
And if somebody is not moving on, that is not my problem to deal with. Is simply what I say. And when it comes to the whole mass, the constructive criticism is something I always welcome. It's
Are you open to
of course
constructive criticism?
I've always been open to constructive criticism, because that is one of the
And
things.
that's what I always did with you.
Yes, and that is one of the things that you have to very analytically think and take in, because you have to, in order to evolve, because you are a single identity and you're dealing with a mass. So you have to understand the mass perception in order to know what needs to evolve within you without changing your identity itself. So it's a really it's a cutting edge. It's a double-edged sword, but you have to understand that it needs to be there in order for you to be better. So,
Just deviating a little bit, is English very important at the Mr. World pageant? Do you
I
think
think-
it was a plus point for you?
I think in a beauty pageant, being able to communicate is important. Language,
Specifically,
Yeah.
do you need to have English?
you don't need to, but it's a given positive.
It's a plus point.
Yes,
Yeah.
because there were people who could not speak English efficiently at all. Maybe because they are.
How did they communicate
Because
effectively?
It was hard for them. It was very hard for them. They were scratching on and about, but the thing is, they won't discriminate you. But at the end of the day,
It's a minus.
yes,
It's
because
unspoken
because
minus.
you're catering for a 2-year reign, as of now, and you have to be able to communicate with people, stand for an organization, represent an organization, and be able to help with their own marketing for the given reign as well.
It's like a job.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is a job.
Yeah.
It's a paid job at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
of course.
So, if your language is not proficient enough, it's going to hurt you. They won't look at you in a different sense, but it is how it is. And yes, I think being able to handle English proficiently is something that you'll need in a beauty pageant specifically, might not in a modeling pageant. But the main thing would be to be able to communicate efficiently in a beauty pageant, because you have to let the judges know, the panel of judges. It could be the other contestants and
The organizers,
yes,
the press.
yes, the whole team, because you're being judged from the day you land to the finale. So being able to communicate comes with the common language. So being proficient in English is something that's valuable in a beauty
When you all were preparing for Mr. and Miss World Sri Lanka, the run-up last July, Anudhi and you were romantically linked with each other. Talk.
Were they?
Yes, they were.
by the mass again.
By
Oh.
yes, they were by some of the other contestants and people are there. So, but there was Salinda, and no one knew that Anudhi's boyfriend and Megha are like very, very good friends. And long before Anudhi met Megha, it was Salinda. How did you handle that? They were like innuendos.
To be honest, it was our own joke. It never mattered.
Of course, it was a joke. It was a joke. It was a I know. Yes.
Yeah. So coincidentally, or destiny, I knew, because we never knew that we applied for Mr. and Miss World
really?
separately either.
Okay.
Until the day we met at the competition. But I've known Anudhi for a while now. It's coming on to become a decade now, because I've known Sarindra for about a decade, and because I've known him through a schoolmate of mine who went to the uni together, so we became really good close friends to the day. And through him, I got to know Anudhi. So we had a very close personal relationship within ourselves as friends. So
when you met each other at Mr. Beast World, whatever, like, wow, you're also here.
yeah, that's exactly
Seriously?
yeah, that's exactly
I didn't
what
know
happened. So coincidentally, we ended up winning on either side as well. So it was bound to happen to people to because we have a chemistry as friends. So we're not awkward at each other. We come at each other.
Yeah,
we
more like
yeah.
buddy friends.
Yes.
No? Because even Anudhi had a lot of respect for you, and she speaks very highly of you. And at one point she forgot to mention your name, and she was so upset. She's like, "Oh my God, I didn't mention Megha's name." You remember, right?
Yes.
So let's listen to what Sangeeta had to say about Megha.
Yes, here's
Because
what
I think that's also
Sangeeta
important.
says about the Golden Boy.
Yeah, so when Megha came for his auditions, I think even when he walked in, he knew exactly what he wanted. Of course, throughout that journey, it couldn't have been easy. There was very tough competition. But he manifested, he knew, he worked really hard at the Mr. World Sri Lanka. And then when it went to Mr. World, he had very short time. He had only about 1.5 months. I actually remember, Kumar, the night he went for the pageant, flight was at 11 something. Even at 5 o'clock in the evening, he was getting ready with his costume. The national costume was getting ready, and he was getting prepared. And I was on the phone with Anudhi and Lashni, and we were all like waiting. The flight is at 11 something, and 11:10 he's still on his way because he had, so much to do. It was a crazy journey. But from the time he stepped into the Mr. World pageant, I'm thinking he must have really made an impact, because he not only won the national costume, he was among the 10 finalists, and he was the people's choice for Mr. World. Now that is an achievement nobody in Sri Lanka, in a pageant that big, has achieved. Please understand, even Megha had 87 countries taking part. There are some girls, some people have won pageants, but they've had 40 countries, 50 countries taking part, and so the competition is less. But for Megha, it was 87 countries, 84, 87 countries, I don't remember which. And he had to compete with all those people, and he brought so much pride to Sri Lanka. When Megha went with us to the Miss World competition also, he was a star and everybody loved him. I think Megha was one of the best things Sri Lanka pageantry, as Sri Lanka as a pageantry country, that has happened to Sri Lanka. So proud of you, Megha, and thank you for everything. Thank you, really, from the bottom of my heart, for everything you've done for the Mr. World Sri Lanka and for Sri Lanka, for us.
Sangeeta on Megha. Megha the actor. So Mandara was your first film that was out, and now there's the latest one.
Devi Kusumasana, right?
Yes.
So what's your, as an actor, who is Megha?
Because
a lot of people know you as the Mr. Sri Lanka Megha.
Yes.
No? So as an actor, you must be having this.
Yeah. When it comes to art, I've always loved direction first. That's what I fell in love with as a kid.
Not acting?
No. So how I got into acting is by a simple thought process. I thought, while acting could be good for me, again, it could be good for me in the sense of working with good directors will make me become a better director.
Yeah.
That is how I actually got into acting. How I actually thought about getting into acting.
So you wanted to act, or you got an invitation to act?
I've been acting since I was a kid, in not in movies, but it could be commercials. I've done those because my father, though he's a doctor, he's heavily involved in art as well. He's a film director himself, and he has been working for the Ministry of Health in the capacity of awareness and spreading awareness and as a communication specialist. So the first, and it has always been film for me. It has always been film for me, and that's the art form of or art form that I love. And I got the first time I got in front of a film camera was when I was in grade 10, I think. Yes, 10 or 9 or 10, I think, with Joe Vikrama for one scene, and that was in my father's first film, and it was for the cellulite, so it was 35 millimeter, and I've had that experience, and I think coming from that, I acted in a main role in cinema in 2016. That is where I realized I was still not into acting, because then from that point,
Not into acting means you thought you were not good enough, or
no, because acting, like any other subject, is something that should be studied, and I was very well studied in directing in my
Can I
personal
pause you there?
opinion. Yes.
So how did the Joa Bibikramers and the Vijays and Gamis and Malanis, they just went and they acted?
yeah.
They had no acting school. The Swarnas, the Anuja,
Yeah, no.
Anuja had.
The thing is, experience in itself is a method of learning, and
Oh, for sure.
to act to camera is something different now than those days, because everything is very, very precise. So it's something that needs a technical knowledge or a know-how too.
But they were successful up the
yes,
line.
No, what I meant is
Eventually, what he's saying
what I
is,
meant is there could be people like Mr. Job Vikrama, who's from the get-go has film in his blood as an actor. So, and what I meant is not that I didn't think that I was good enough for it. What I meant is I haven't thought about acting the same way I thought about directing. So how I fell in love with the process of acting is actually through Job Vikrama. I haven't thought about practicing it, but I got to stay 2 weeks with him. So the communication I had with him, we stayed in the same room for 2 weeks. So the time I spent with him learning of how his method is, how he approaches certain things.
How old were you?
Sorry, I was
16, 17?
grade 10, yeah, 10, 12, 10, 11, 9, 10, 11, somewhere. I think I was grade 10. So anyway, that is what made me fall in love with acting, but I still didn't want to pursue acting. Then only after cinema I thought, okay, I need to do this. If I'm doing this, I need to do this right. So there only I started learning it as a technical subject, because of certain people's brains work differently. So for me, I'm a very technical person. So how I absorb things, how I put my attention to detail is very technical. So I won't, because my first perception was for film was direction. So I wanted to pursue that the same way.
so you're more of a technical actor now.
No, I won't say that, because it takes time. And then again, I won't say I'm a technical actor, but an approach for me, understanding acting was technical. So from there, I think I started studying technical and otherwise, because then only I can improve myself, and I need to keep improving in order to get into it. And then after 2 years of a break, only I did Mandar.
If I can interrupt you.
Yes.
Do you or do you not apply the Stanislavski method of acting?
In my personal opinion, method acting or Stanislavski's method is a little outdated.
Really?
Yes, I think so. And it is not practiced in that regard. The same Stanislavski's method is practiced by certain actors worldwide. But
Even in Sri Lanka, there are.
yes, but the thing about Stanislavski's method is you become a character itself. What we don't have the luxury of that we have in other countries is we don't have a downtime. We don't have a detox time. We're bouncing from character to character.
Sometimes you do multiple characters
Yes.
at the same
So
time.
the study that needs to go into it is different. So it's a hybrid method that I believe in.
Which makes
But
sense.
But there are people who still excels in Stanislavski's method and as a method acting, and there are different forms of it. So mine, that what works for me, and I'm still trying to find it out, is something that of a hybrid, and I'm getting into it still. So I think my personal opinion of it is, in the Sri Lankan context, if you do it right, by the definition of Stanislavski, it could be a little hard. Not that you can't do it, of course. It's one of the proven methods, but it's going to be hard on you as a person, as an actor. But there are people who do it, of course, and it's different from.
Our last question on the show. We've had long conversations about this. Would you want to be a Gamini Fonseca or a Joa Vikrama or a Vijay Kumar?
As I said, I fell in love with the form of acting with Joa Vikrama. So that is the actor for me in Sri Lankan history itself. To date, as an actor, when I see acting, that is what I see.
But I'm sure he wants to be a Megha.
No, I said in the form of acting, but we can never be somebody else. That's a given.
Sure.
So even we said we talk about Joa Vikram because of the legacy that he has left. So the only thing I can expect for myself is to raise my own story, to be my own actor and my own director, in the sense of having my self-identity, but being able to appreciate all that has come before me and who will come after me.
Megha, thank you so much. Great pleasure, as always, talking to you. I didn't bully you today. I was very polite.
Yes, I know. I was waiting for this.
I was making up for all those.
Is it because he's your golden boy?
He's everybody's golden boy.
No, specifically yours.
But I've harassed him a lot, so I thought today let me be.
No,
nice,
Megha, I have to tell you this.
kind.
When we understood that you're going to be on our show, he's like, I'm going to bully him. He has major anger issues, and I'm going to annoy him, and he's going to walk out on the set. And I'm like waiting for it, but he's not doing anything.
I've given you
not
enough.
saying anything.
Enough. So like I'm nice.
I've had enough experience to handle it.
I know.
Sorry.
I wouldn't
I've
believe
had enough
him.
experience to handle it now.
Yes, you know what
Next
help me
time.
now. Yes. So.
I wouldn't believe you next time when you say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You do nothing. Anyway, thank you very much, Megha.
Pleasure.
Out of your busy schedule, I'm sure you are very busy these days. And it was nice talking to you.
Likewise. The pleasure's all mine.
And everybody out there in social media land, go ahead. It just bounces off Megha's back. It's like pouring water on a duck's tail or whatever. See you next time.
හොඳම නවක නළුවා Megha Sooriyaarachchi